Hello and welcome to MIP TV. And in this episode, we've got a bit of a blockbuster book. Really, it's written by Linda Finley, who I know that you know.
Yeah, very well.
And it's Relational Integrative Psychotherapy, engaging process, theory, and practice. Easy for me to say, Bob.
Well, he did it very well.
Thank you very much.
It's a very new book. It only came out about 16 months ago. It came out in 2016, so it's right up to date.
Yeah, and I one of the things I like about the book reviews is that there's still literature being produced, and certainly what I'm getting, the sense I'm getting, is that there's more of an emphasis than ever on the relational part or integration than ever before. Would that be your observation?
Yeah, absolutely, Rory, without a doubt. No, I know I'm biased towards the whole idea of relationship and relational integration, so that's true. But there's more and more books on how to use the relationship in the psychotherapy process. Now, it's interesting because if you went into a psychotherapy bookshop before 1950, most of the books would be because of a legacy from the psychoanalytical world of Freud and Jung and people like that, would be how the therapist would keep out of the relational process. So if we look at 2018, where we are now, the last 70 years, there's been a complete shift to the other end of the polarity.
Yes, I mean there's been the Dodo bird effect, which is Saul Rostenberg, which has been around for a long time. And he hypothesized, he's a psychologist who hypothesized that, each modality was equally as effective. It was the quality of the relationship. And that's been re-examined through the years. I think a couple of years ago, Lucy Goldsmith out of Manchester, a PhD student, did some work on relationships with psychiatrists and the clients, and it came up again. It's not surprising, but the facts are friendly. The better quality of the relationship, the better the outcome of therapy.
I mean, that's without doubt. I mean, at the Manchester Institute for Psychotherapy, I always do the assessments before they're passed on to student placements or passed on to other therapists. Now, in the matching up of people at a developmental level or not, one of our major assessments, besides risk assessment, etc., is, of course, will they get on?
Yeah.
Will they actually get on as people?
Yes.
And that's really important.
It is. And, it's as a counsellor myself, it's all those things that I've seen time and time again, that, in the better quality of the relationship, I'm not saying the modality disappears, but the modality isn't as prevalent. It is more about people sharing, people trusting, and people being able to feel secure enough to examine what's going on for them.
Yeah, so that's what Linda Finley talks about. She is a very experienced psychotherapist and also a very experienced writer and author of psychotherapy and an expert in the process of research in psychotherapy. So this is no novice we're talking about.
No, this is a master craft, isn't it? This is someone who's a craftsperson. Yeah, I'm interested in the integration, Bob. What does Linda Finley say about what is she integrating? What is she advocating?
Okay. So Linda Finley was a good friend, not only of me, but a very close friend of Ken Evans, who was the chair of the European Association of Integrative Psychotherapy. Has written a book with Linda Finley on integrative psychotherapy. I think that's right, or it might have been can't remember that other person. But anyway, he's done a lot of collaboration with Linda Finley, and their ideas, of course, is a synthesis of Gestalt, psychodynamic theory, transactional analysis, existential theory, and using these tools, these influences, the theoretical developments and all these different modalities in the service of integration of the client.
Mm. Yes, and it's something that we're hearing more and more about now. When I first trained, you hear very little about it. I mean, I'm a relative newcomer. I've only been practicing for 15 years. But when I started, integration was something that was, I think about 5 or 6 years before people were talking about it. But now it's becoming the norm as people take courses, CPD, and then just integrate what they've learned into their practice.
Yeah, and then when I started off, 85, one of the buzzwords then was eclectic.
Yes.
The idea of taking, putting my hands out here, taking morsels and theories from different approaches and helping them in the curative process. We've gone a step further though now. I mean, Richard Erskine talks about integration of the person very much, and the adult also always being integrating in the transaction analysis process. These two authors talk a bit more, I think, in the eclectic field of using different approaches from psychodynamic world, transaction analysis, Gestalt, client-centered counseling, etc. And there's chapters on all these and how we interweave them together to actually help build a relationship that's always integrating, if you like. And of course, from transaction analysis comes the idea of the integrated adult, and Linda Finley's got a whole chapter on that.
Well, I mean, it sounds like a must read for anybody who's studying.
Yes.
Course.
Oh yeah, marvelous for students, especially I was thinking in the world of counseling, where you have quite a lot of emphasis, don't you, on different modalities, different theories, comparative approaches. This book is fantastic read when you want to look at other comparative approaches to the human condition.
Well, I mean, I think there's no better recommendation than that. We will, as always, put a link to the book in the comments bar below. And as always, and I have to say this because YouTube do monitor, Bob isn't being paid for this. It's not a sponsored slot. Bob does it because he wants to share his love of literature and how it helps develop psychotherapists. So, as always, Bob Cook, thank you very much.
Thank you, Roy.